Now on Coast TV News.
It's a mild start out there as we're tracking some sun this afternoon, milder in the lower 80s as seas continue to rise, and the latest on Erin and when we could expect to see the peak of those effects.
Beach activity blocked with waves churning. We have the latest on the status of our beaches for Wednesday.
Surf survival.
To me, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was that bad of a hit.
How a vacationer recently experienced a terrifying situation at the Indian River Inlet and the gratitude he has for those who saved him.
Detecting school danger, what the Indian River District is putting in place at its high schools in the name of safety ahead of the new year.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Our eyes are on Erin as it moves further north. It's increasing the impact it is having on Delmarva.
Yes, yesterday we had a very gloomy Tuesday. It rained the entire day. I was shocked in New Jersey, where my family is from. My mom's like, beautiful day here. How's it there? I'm like, yeah, can't say the same for us here, Mom.
I know. New York with some of the bump shots we saw out of New York City, sunny skies. We did not have that case, Chris, and it looks like more of the same today.
Yeah, you know, we're going to continue to see the clouds, but I think we'll see some breaks in those clouds this afternoon. We're going to be milder. We only hit 69 yesterday in Georgetown. We'll be in the lower 80s this afternoon. It is a mild start. We have a few stray showers across the eastern shore through Accomack County, the storm out front just to our south, and then we have a cold front back off to the west. Temperatures right now quite mild. We're at 74 Rehoboth, 74 in Bethany Beach, 70 Georgetown to 69 in Seaford. We continue to see that onshore flow. Winds not really a factor inland. We're still seeing some gusts at the coast. 21 mile an hour there gust in Indian River Inlet. Now we have a new tropical storm warning issued. Now this is primarily for the coastal waters of Lewis, Cape Henlopen, all the way down the entire Delmarva coast as when we could expect those tropical storm force winds tomorrow. Now we do have a coastal flood watch in effect for all the coastal areas. That runs through Friday. And then that tropical storm warning through our south as well, as we could see up to 1 to 2 feet of inundation along the coast come tomorrow. Hurricane Erin, Category 2 hurricane, took a beating yesterday with the wind shear, but looks a little bit more healthy at this hour. Continuing to push north, should intensify back to maybe a Category 3 hurricane, but there you see pushing well off to our southeast by Thursday. You see 110 mile an hour winds there, but it's going to kick up a lot of seas as we've been talking about over the next 2 to 3 days. We'll see some breaks in those clouds this afternoon and even an isolated shower or thunderstorm chance with the temperatures rising into the lower 80s. Now, Erin's impacts tomorrow, that is when we expect the brunt, primarily at the coast. Winds gusting upwards of 45, 50 miles an hour. Coastal flooding, the beach erosion is going to continue, as well as those wave heights as high as 14 feet come tomorrow. Good news is once we kick Erin out of here, a fantastic Friday and weekend. We're going to see temperatures fall into the upper 50s come Friday morning with plenty of sunshine, but dangerous surf is going to continue into Friday, so keep that in mind. We'll talk about the latest on Erin and when we could see a taste of fall here on Delmarva coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that. Thank you, Chris. Let's get a live look now along the coast. This is Rehoboth Beach on the left of your screen. I know it's dark, but the waves are hitting the shore there. Pretty quiet on the boardwalk. We'll have to see what the wave condition is when we get a little bit more daylight later this morning. And as we begin this Wednesday, coastal communities are taking action, responding to rough water and high surf. Rehoboth Beach is posting a double red flag status. That means officials cite extreme hazards and swimming is not allowed. Ocean City is also closing access to its waters. The Delaware Seashore State Park and Fenwick Island State Park have prohibited ocean access since Monday, with rules continuing today. And surf fishing and swimming at Cape Henlopen State Park beaches not allowed.
Hurricane Erin hasn't brought its full force to Delaware's coast yet, but it is coming. The Denrex Shoreline and Waterway Management section is now referring to Erin as a, quote, severe erosion event. How severe will be determined over the next several days.
And officials say the Indian River Inlet beaches could see the worst of it Thursday, with erosion lasting into Saturday. Denrex has staged heavy equipment on both sides of the bridge that we're getting the aerial view of here to respond as needed. Denrex says it will not preemptively place sand at the inlet for supporting infrastructure ahead of possible hurricane impacts, but will, quote, assess impacts as they occur and more fully address beach and dune losses after the storm has passed. Now, North Carolina is providing an example of why DNREC has this concern. Check out this video right here. Waters from Hurricane Erin reaching all the way up to these houses. This is a part of the North Carolina Outer Banks. You can see they are already seeing the damage from the storm.
What started as a normal beach day at the Indian River Inlet ended in a terrifying experience. Michael Zeke was recently here on vacation from Pennsylvania with family and neighbors when a decision to get into the water led to him being knocked down by a large wave and hitting his head. Zeke was rescued by lifeguards, Bethany Beach EMTs, and flown to Christiana in a state helicopter. Tears filled his eyes as he reflected on the moment his life was saved.
Never lost consciousness. It was horrific. I can't explain how horrific it was because to me, I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was that bad of a hit. The lifeguards were incredible. They really were. I think I would have ended up paralyzed if it wasn't for them.
Zeke says if this experience has taught him anything, it is to only swim where lifeguards are present. It's important to note the rough surf conditions Zeke experienced were not a part of the impacts of Hurricane Erin. And to learn more about what Zeke is saying he learned after this accident, you can head to the article on CoastTVnews.com.
Happening today, the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing a request that aims to add more homes to a Millsboro area manufactured park. This is for the crossings at Oak Orchard LLC, and it's seeking approval for 2 additional lots inside the River Winds manufactured home park. According to county documents, it affects less than a half an acre of land within the 35-acre community. The commission meeting is scheduled for 3 p.m.
The Sussex County Council has named a new member to its Planning and Zoning Commission. The council appointed John Passwaters of Bridgeville to the 5-member panel. His term begins September 1st and will run through June 2026. Passwaters owns a landscaping and outdoor lighting business and also farms. Councilman Steve McCarron nominated Passwaters to replace Brian Butler, who resigned earlier this month.
Also, the council approved some changes to its property tax policies. This is to comply with statewide reforms recently signed into law. One of the key changes requires counties to offer payment plans for primary residential property owners facing tax increases of more than $300. That's a result of House Bill 241. Under the plan, homeowners must apply by September 30th.
This morning, the ability to sell once again, alcoholic beverages at the 2 Big Ocean City music events is getting reviewed. Texas-based Spectrum Concessions has applications in front of the Worcester County Board of License Commissioners. One is for Oceans Calling from September 26th to the 28th. The second is Country Calling from October 3rd to the 5th. The sales both are at noon to 10:30 p.m.
Happening in South Bethany, a review of the town's resiliency action plan. The Resiliency Committee says the plan covers a wide range of tasks from mitigation projects and building code updates to bulkheads, green infrastructure, project financing, and public outreach. The committee meets in just a few hours at 10 a.m.
Plans to expand the Milton Theater are moving forward. Tuesday night, engineers presented preliminary site plans to the Milton Planning and Zoning Commission. Those plans include a roughly 2,800 square foot addition to the Milton Theater. It would be for more classroom space, more parking, and accessibility. This is just part 1 in the process.
Tonight was the first step, preliminary site plan hearing. We presented to the Planning Commission. They had some thoughtful comments and suggestions. We'll be back for a council hearing and a Board of Adjustment to ask for some sidewalk waivers and a setback waiver.
Next, organizers will present a variance request to the Board of Adjustment regarding a bulkhead in the Broadkill River.
The Indian River School District is stepping up safety at 2 high schools ahead of the 2025-2026 school year. Indian River and Sussex Central will use new open gate weapons detection systems. Every student will pass through them each morning. Anyone found with prohibited items could face school and legal consequences. Students should also expect to remove large electronics like Chromebooks and metal water bottles before entering.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. The White House says it is working to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Putin and Zelensky.
Yeah, new overnight, Russia is intensifying its assault on eastern Ukraine. This as Ukraine asks for security assurances from the U.S.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us where the war stands after 2 high-stakes talks involving both countries.
On the front lines of eastern Ukraine, relentless Russian strikes underscoring what's at stake as the White House seeks a location for a face-to-face meeting between Ukraine's President Zelensky and Russia's President Putin.
And then after that meeting, if everything works out, okay, I'll meet and we'll wrap it up.
Finding where to meet, no easy task, with Putin facing arrest for war crime charges and many countries party to the International Criminal Court. A White House official telling NBC News President Trump spoke with Hungary's leader and that Budapest is being considered, as well as Geneva. Russia has yet to publicly confirm Putin will meet with Zelensky, though the White House says he agreed to. Ukraine and European allies worried Putin will play for time are pressing for an immediate ceasefire, rather than the broad peace deal President Trump favors following his Putin summit in Alaska. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff defending the approach.
A ceasefire deal is very, very easy to break, because it doesn't have all the ingredients attached to it.
Also noting the importance of guarantees for Ukraine's future security, though President Trump now says the U.S. will not send ground troops to join a European peacekeeping force, while not ruling out military support from the air.
It is an option and a possibility.
As the president acknowledges he can't be sure Putin is ready to end the war.
I think Putin is tired of it. I think they're all tired of it, but you never know. It's possible that he doesn't want to make a deal.
Looming unknowns on the path to peace. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, food skills to fuel the future. How a program at the Food Bank of Delaware prepares its students for success.
Also, Carlisle Fire Company constraint will tell you what the agency says is creating a need for faster emergency response in Milford.
And tariffs to bring higher prices. What to expect from Home Depot as the company says the new fees are starting to take effect. All that and more as CoastTV News Today continues.
Well, a pleasant good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. It's a pretty calm and tranquil start to our day. We're at 75, mild start. See that onshore flow continues. Winds out of the southeast about 9 miles an hour. A few light showers across the eastern shore. Nothing all that heavy at this hour. Pretty dry across much of Sussex County. As I mentioned, quite mild at the coast. 74 in Lewis. We're at 71 in Milton, 69 in Bridgeville, and we're at 70 in Laurel. The breezy conditions, that is where we're going to see the highest winds here over the next 24 to 36 hours at the coast. Some gusts as high as 50 miles an hour come tomorrow as Hurricane Erin makes its closest approach to Delmarva. We're at mostly cloudy today, milder, lower 80s. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm, and that surf. Just best to stay out of the ocean. 5 to 9 foot waves today, and it only gets higher tomorrow. We're talking about waves up to 14 feet tomorrow as Erin makes its closest approach to the area. 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Now today, we're milder. Temperatures in the lower 80s under mostly cloudy skies with that threat of an afternoon shower or storm. We'll talk more about Erin and a drier, milder weekend ahead. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. The 38th annual Delaware Coastal Cleanup is coming up on Saturday, September 13th from 9 a.m. to noon, according to DenRec. Volunteers at 45 cleanup spots across the state will help clean up the Delaware beaches, waterways, and natural areas. Supplies like gloves and trash bags will be provided. The registration deadline is Wednesday, August 28th.
If you're looking to build a business, the state of Delaware is offering some assistance. According to DelDOT, the Transportation Infrastructure Investment Fund is designed for new business improvements, and DelDOT says it has already awarded 35 grants totaling $58.8 million and claims that it helped create about 12,500 jobs. If you're interested in applying, the deadline is Monday, September 8th.
Home Depot announced prices on some of its items are likely to go up. The nation's largest home improvement retailer says the Trump administration's tariffs are having a ripple effect on their products. Home Depot says just under 50% of its inventory is imported from suppliers outside of the U.S. The company says while some products will go up in price, it won't be broad-based.
And President Donald Trump's 50% tariff on steel and aluminum imports have taken effect. More than 400 categories of common items that contain steel and aluminum are now more expensive to import to the United States. Last month, the U.S. government reported that it collected $30 billion from tariffs.
Well, it's a pleasant start to our Wednesday. A few spotty showers along the eastern shore. We're at 70, a cloudy, damp start. Expecting some breaks in the clouds through this afternoon with an isolated storm chance. Coming up, we'll have the latest track on Hurricane Erin, and let me see maybe some fall-like temperatures in that extended forecast. Coming right back after the break.
Time is 5:20, and you are looking live at the wave activity in Ocean City. And Chris, we do expect the size of those waves to increase as we move further along into this week.
Yes, so we're expecting 5 to 9 foot waves today, and by tomorrow approaching over a foot. Yeah, it's going to get pretty nasty along the coast here, especially as we get into the day tomorrow. We're seeing a few spotty showers in and across the eastern shore, more of the nuisance variety, so don't be surprised if you see a sprinkle or two here in the morning, but for the most part, we should stay dry at least through the morning time frame. That's still out front just to our southeast there. This cold front back off through Cleveland, Cincinnati, that is going to be helping to kick Erin further out to sea as we go into the day tomorrow. Well, we're already milder than we were at yesterday for our daytime high. We hit only 69 in Georgetown yesterday. We're at 70 right now, 74 Rehoboth. See winds anywhere between gusting 16 in Rehoboth to 20 Indian River Inlet. Now we have a new tropical storm warning. This is for the coastal waters, Cape Henlopen, all the way down the Delaware coast, where we're going to be seeing those tropical storm force winds come tomorrow, and that extends from Ocean City all the way through Chincoteague. And we also have the coastal flood watch in effect through Friday. Inundation due in part to the high surf, and that persistent onshore flow is going to cause that flooding at the coast and the back bays. Hurricane Erin took a beating yesterday with the wind shear. It's Category 2 hurricane, formidable hurricane, 100-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and looking a bit healthier at this hour as it continues to push north and then eventually to the northeast tomorrow as it races to the northeast, but it's going to kick up tremendous surf over the next 2 days. Highs today generally in the lower 80s. Mostly cloudy skies, a few breaks in the clouds this afternoon, 84 to Easton, 82 in Snow Hill. As we go in the afternoon, could see a few spotty, isolated storms, especially western Sussex County in the eastern shore, not all that widespread. And then by tomorrow, here is the clouds from Erin. Strong northeast winds really begin to pick up by Thursday afternoon through Thursday evening along the coast. And then check out by Friday morning, we are in the upper 50s across some parts of Delmarva. There's those winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour by tomorrow afternoon in Bethany Beach. Persistent onshore flow continues, and then we'll see some breezy conditions into Friday along the coast. So again, this is primarily a coastal issue. Tropical storm force winds as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour with that coastal flooding and beach erosion. Waves as high as 8 to 14 feet. Could see an isolated shower. Inland eastern shore, it'll be a cloudy day, breezy with an isolated shower chance. There's that wave action, 5 to 9 feet today. We're peaking up to 12 to 14 feet come tomorrow along the coast. And then Erin exits, high pressure builds in through Friday. Friday looking spectacular, but again, that rough surf continues. 82 for your high today. We're at 70. A mostly cloudy, mild day, and then there's Erin. Clouds from Erin tomorrow, windy at the coast with those gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. The weekend looking very nice as the seas calm. We'll see a chance of a thunderstorm late Sunday, and then we usher in some nice, cool fall-like temperatures next week.
Some unfortunate news as Cape Community Day has been canceled due to weather conditions. According to the school district's Facebook page, they do not have a rain date, but they plan to have it another time in the undetermined future.
Rapid growth in Milford, particularly on the southeast side, has created a need for faster emergency response. The Carlisle Fire Company hopes to address that by using an existing building for a new substation. It's on Cedar Beach Road by early next year. The fire company says the Delaware Fire Commission recently approved the plans and stresses the importance of making fire protection accessible to all parts of the city. City leaders say the new substation is needed to keep up with growth and is long overdue.
Now you're closer to some of those particular volunteers, and then also getting that truck or apparatus out to the issue is much quicker. So this has been needed for a very long time.
Fire company says it has no plans right now to make the new substation a permanent facility.
Up next on CoastTV News today, food skills to fuel the future. We'll tell you what students learn at a program at the Food Bank of Delaware. Don't go anywhere. A new group of students from the Food Bank of Delaware's culinary program are ready to hit the kitchen. Tuesday, students from the 41st class of the program celebrated their graduation in Milford with friends and family. Over the 14-week course, students learned from experienced chefs and gained hands-on kitchen experience.
For so many of our students, this is the completion of a goal that they've set for themselves to complete this program, to get the skills training that they need to get entry-level jobs in the culinary industry. And so many of them are getting that job, have gotten that job, and are ready to take the next steps.
And the food bank says this culinary program is offered to students at no cost, made possible entirely through donations in Milford. Well, sadly, Hurricane Erin is causing dangerous waters on the coast, but if you're visiting, there's still a lot of beach stores and restaurants to go to.
Yeah, you're good Chamber of Commerce pitch there, but because of Erin, Chris, I think we're expecting another damp day at our beaches.
Yeah, you know, we're going to see a lot of clouds today. I think we'll see some breaks in those clouds, a bit milder than when we were at yesterday. And you can see live look into Ocean City, those waves crashing along the coast. And we're going to continue to see those high swells over the next 3 days. 75 in Ocean City at the moment. It's a mild start. And we'll see some sun break through those clouds through the afternoon as we get up to around 78 in Ocean City, 80 in Fenwick Island. Again, look, those wave heights 5 to 9 feet. We'll see an isolated shower chance through the afternoon with highs approaching 80 degrees by this afternoon. Cambridge, we're up to 80 by around noon with an isolated shower chance in the afternoon, 81 in Crisfield. And there's those wave heights. We have high surf advisories. We have the tropical storm warning for the coastal waters. See those wave heights peaking 8 to 14 feet, those waves on Thursday and even Friday. We're expecting sunny skies into Friday, but look, 5 to 8 foot waves, and we'll still see some 3 to 6 foot swells by the time Saturday rolls around. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalas Federico. We'll have the latest on Erin coming up in that next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, South Bethany Resilience Review will tell you what to expect from an update on its action plan. And Hurricane Erin hurtles closer. We'll tell you the storm's path and how our coastal communities are trying to keep people safe. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
It's a mild start out there as we're tracking some sun this afternoon, milder in the lower 80s as seas continue to rise, and the latest on Erin and when we could expect to see the peak of those effects.
Surf restrictions, the action taken by our coastal communities as Hurricane Erin makes its way north in the Atlantic.
Shoreline stress, the high surf is causing extra attention to trouble spots like the Delaware Seashore State Park, what Denrick is expecting for this area in the upcoming days.
Calling on alcohol access. The timeframes 2 big music events in Ocean City are looking at to sell beer and other beverages.
This is Coast TV News Today.
August 20th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's 5:32 a.m. Hurricane Erin has our attention.
Yeah.
You know, we had that video earlier in our newscast of North Carolina. It is amazing what this hurricane is doing, even though there's no landfall.
It is amazing to see, and we're experiencing the effects with the rain that we experienced yesterday and overcast Tuesday, and that is carrying into our Wednesday. And to tell us more about that is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Elisa and Matt. Yeah, that storm is quite impressive, a Category 2 hurricane at the moment, but it continuing to grow in width as far as the wind radius is concerned. Seeing some few spotty showers and some sprinkles along the eastern shore, lifting to the northeast. Most of the area should stay dry through the morning, but we could see an isolated shower or thunderstorm as we get into the afternoon. Some patchy fog is possible. Seeing some fog there across Cambridge. Most of the area is free of fog, but it's quite mild out there at this hour. At 71 Long Neck, 74 Bethany Beach, 71 in Milton, and we're at 70 in Georgetown. We continue to see that onshore flow. That's really not going to change here for the coast. We're going to see those winds shift more out of the northeast as we go into the day tomorrow. Now we have a newly issued tropical storm warning. This is primarily for the coastal waters, Cape Henlopen, Rehoboth, down through Fenwick Island, and then that goes all the way down to Chickatee. And then we also have that coastal flood watch for inundation up to 2 feet, all thanks to the persistent onshore flow and those high waves. And there's that tropical storm warning for coastal waters, Ocean City through Chickatee. So here's the latest on Erin, a Category 2 hurricane moving north-northwest about 13 miles an hour, sustained winds 100 gusts up to 120, lifting to the north and then eventually the northeast as we go into the day tomorrow, and then racing to the northeast by the time we get to Friday. But that's going to kick up quite a bit of swells as we go into the day tomorrow, expecting the peak of those swells 8 to 14 feet, with the highest Thursday afternoon through Thursday evening. The bulk of the winds are going to be at the coast, gusting as high as 45-50, so that's going to continue the tidal flooding as well as the beach erosion. As far as today is concerned, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies, highs around the lower 80s with that isolated storm chance. We'll talk about some cooler, drier air by the weekend in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you for that, Chris. And we are now taking a live look outside at Ocean City. We can see the ocean there. We can see the waves clearly from our camera, already very active. And again, we expect to see wave size to increase in the upcoming hours. Coastal communities continuing to take action responding to rough water and high surf. Rehoboth Beach is posting a double red flag status, meaning officials say extreme hazards and swimming isn't allowed. Ocean City is also closing access to its waters. The Delaware Seashore State Park and Fenwick Island State Park have prohibited ocean access since Monday, with rules continuing today. And surf fishing and swimming at Cape Henlopen State Park beaches is also not allowed.
Hurricane Erin hasn't brought its full force to Delaware's and Maryland's coast yet, but it's coming. In Delaware, the Denreck Shoreline and Waterway Management Section now referring to Erin as a, quote, severe erosion event. How severe? That'll be determined over the next couple of days.
And officials say the Indian River Inlet beaches could see the worst of it Thursday, with erosion lasting into Saturday. Denreck has staged heavy equipment on both sides of the bridge to respond as needed, but officials say, quote, Denreck will not preemptively place sand at the inlet for supporting infrastructure ahead of possible hurricane impacts, but will, quote, assess impacts as they occur and more fully address beach and dune losses after the storm has passed. Happening today, Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission is reviewing a request that aims to add more homes to a manufactured home park. According to the agenda, the Crossings at Oak Orchard LLC is seeking approval for 2 additional lots inside the Riverwinds manufactured home park. Organizers say the proposal affects about 0.37 acres of land within the 35-acre community. Council members will gather today at 3 p.m.
This morning, the ability to once again sell alcoholic beverages at 2 big Ocean City music events is getting reviewed. Texas-based Spectrum Concessions has applications in front of the Worcester County Board of License Commissioners. One is for Ocean's Calling. That's from September 26th to the 28th. The second is Country Calling, October 3rd to the 5th. Sales for both are noon to 10:30 p.m.
Happening today, South Bethany officials will meet to discuss the Resiliency Action Plan. This is according to the agenda for the Resiliency Committee. Officials say that plan covers a wide range of tasks, from mitigation projects and building code updates to bulkheads, green infrastructure, project financing, and public outreach. The committee will meet in just a few hours at 10 a.m.
New overnight, a defense official says about 2,400 people serve in the Washington, D.C. National Guard.
But not all are on duty, as Amy Kiley shows us. With some on leave or in training, troops from West Virginia and other states are being sent in as backup.
West Virginia National Guard members could be operational in Washington, D.C. starting today, according to a defense official. They're tasked with helping their district counterparts carry out President Donald Trump's crackdown on crime. At least 5 Republican governors from other states say they're deploying Guard members too. The mayor says that's overkill.
The numbers on the ground in the district don't support 1,000 people from other states coming to Washington, D.C.
Others say the city could use some help.
And I don't think it's theater. I think it's working.
At least one Republican governor says he won't send in Guard members. Vermont's leader says policing isn't their job. Meanwhile,
the president's treating us like we're criminal. I'm not no criminal.
Trump's effort to remove homeless people from the city continues.
It's just been a lot of chaos. People using the bathroom out here. People selling drugs all day long.
Trump says he wants homeless people to get help outside the Capitol. Advocates say most are just relocating within the city. They say that struggle to find shelter makes the problem worse.
They're losing their possessions, they're losing their dignity, they're getting disconnected from services, and we're making it harder for them to get out of homelessness.
Nowhere to go. When you don't get help, it's nowhere to go.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Here's a live look at Washington, D.C. The White House says it's arranging a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Putin and Zelensky. This just in, Russia is intensifying its assault on eastern Ukraine. This as Ukraine asks for security assurances from the U.S. The White House continues to seek a location for a face-to-face meeting between the two leaders. Ukraine and European allies are pressing for an immediate ceasefire rather than the broad peace deal President Trump favors following his Putin summit in Alaska.
Ceasefire deal is very, very easy to break because it doesn't have all the ingredients attached to it.
Russia has yet to publicly confirm Putin will meet Zelensky, though the White House says he has agreed to.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Salisbury paving progress. We'll tell you what to expect from traffic flow after a major project is complete.
Also, draft picks debut. How the Orioles' 3 first-round picks from the summer draft fared for the Shorebirds last night. Stay with us.
We salute Anthony LaMancha for his courageous service aboard the USS Pueblo during the Vietnam War. In 1968, Tony and his shipmates were captured by North Korea and held as prisoners of war for 11 months. Enduring hardship with strength and resilience, Tony's bravery and sacrifice remain a powerful testament to the courage of all who serve. We honor and thank him for his service to our nation.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. It is a mild, damp start to our day on the peninsula. Looking live into Salisbury, 71 degrees there. Winds relatively calm inland. Dew point 70 degrees, so it is quite muggy, and we're seeing a few scattered showers along the eastern shore, kind of building in off the bay. Pretty quiet around the Sussex County. We're at 74 in Rehoboth, 74 Bethany, 71 in Gumboro. Winds gusting. We're at 16-mile-an-hour wind gust there in Bethany, 21 Indian River Inlet. So mostly cloudy day, some breaks in those clouds. Temperatures lower 80s, isolated shower storm chance by this afternoon. That surf continues to get more dangerous, 5 to 9 foot swells. And then we do have the tropical storm warning for the coastal waters of Cape Henlopen all the way down through Fenwick Island and Ocean City. That kicks into effect tomorrow. Windy at the coast. We're dealing with winds tomorrow as high as 50 miles an hour. Today, not too bad of a day. A mix of sun and clouds, I think, by the afternoon with an isolated shower and thunderstorm as we get into the afternoon. Highs generally around 80 to 84 degrees at the coast. Congratulations to our umbrella winner, Annie Sloniker of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. You're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella. We'll have a look more at Erin coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. A car crash in Milton caught on camera. This was Tuesday afternoon. Now take a look. You can see this car hit a parked car and then it flips on its side. We're showing you that again. Now, we did reach out to Milton Police about what happened. We don't have more details on that at the moment.
Downtown Georgetown could be getting a new look. The town is updating its downtown development district plan. That means new incentives to bring in businesses, create jobs, and improve public spaces. Public meetings are being planned, giving residents the chance to share their ideas on the future of Georgetown.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Over at Purdue Stadium, it's an exciting time to be a Shorebirds fan. I get it. Delmarva dropped 8 of its last 9 headed into yesterday. So why did I say that? Well, because 3 Baltimore first-rounders make their home debuts this week here in Salisbury. Rookies Ike Irish, Caden Bodine, and Vahiva Aloy were all in the lineup last night. This trio helped Delmarva pull off a 6-run comeback win against the Kannapolis Cannonballers. Aloy led off, went 2 for 4, and had 2 RBI. Irish in the 2-hole also collected 2 knocks and a pair of ribbies. Bodine batted third, finished with a team-high 3 hits. The Coastal Carolina product has a .375 average a week in his pro career. These 3 are about to give Orioles fans serious hope for the future, but in the present, they're back in action tonight against Kannapolis, which is a White Sox affiliate. First pitch is slated for just after 7, and we'll be back from Purdue Stadium broadcasting live on DSN. Now, there's a little bit of a chance of rain in the forecast, so don't feel bad about tuning in at home with us. The Shorebirds, not a great record on the year, but you know what? That doesn't really matter. Those three guys, all of them first-round picks, showing off some serious potential from the plate in last night's wild win. I'll do it for sports. Have a great morning.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7, we have live Shorebirds baseball from Purdue Stadium. The Birds are continuing their series with the Kannapolis Cannonballers. And then at 10:30, you can catch the final score.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, I'm doing my best. I'm searching for sunshine. I'm doing my best here. Could see some breaks in the clouds late this afternoon, but we do have a chance of a few isolated thunderstorms this afternoon as well. We'll talk more about that and the latest on Hurricane Erin coming up next.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside of Ocean City this morning. No sunshine. Chris says that he's working hard to maybe bring us some sun, Chris, but I don't know. After yesterday's weather, I think we should just get used to the overcast weather for the next couple of days.
Yeah, you know, we're going to see some clouds from Erin tomorrow. I think we'll squeeze out some sun today and we'll break some of those clouds apart. But we are dealing with a few pesky little scattered showers across Cambridge, Taylor's Island, Natticoke. Pretty dry across Sussex County. Most of the moisture is off the coast, but we do have a threat of some isolated showers and storms later this afternoon. This cold front across portions of Ohio and Indiana, that's going to be pushing eastward and helping to kick Erin further out to sea. We're at 72 Dagsboro, 73 Rehoboth, 74 Lewis, 69 Milford to 70 in Seaford. Winds right now, not much of an issue inland. That's really going to be the case here over the next 2 days. The primary wind zone is going to be the coast, 21-mile-an-hour gusts there at Indian River Inlet, and that's why the National Weather Service has this tropical storm warning in effect for the coastal waters of Cape Henlopen all the way down through Bethany Beach and Fenwick Island, and that also extends from Ocean City down through Chickateague, where we're going to be seeing those tropical storm force winds along the coast as we get into the day tomorrow. Coastal flood watch in effect through the entire area, as we could see up to a 2-foot inundation. Hurricane Erin, a Category 2 hurricane right now, winds sustained at 100 miles an hour, could strengthen a little here over the next day, maybe back to a 3, but a general consensus is it's going to stay a powerful Category 2 hurricane, kicking up dangerous, life-threatening surf and rip currents along the east coast over the next 2 to 3 days. 83 this afternoon in Seaford, 83 in Milford. We're at 83 in Cambridge with an isolated storm or 2 this afternoon, and we're at 83 Pocomoke City. Futurecast shows a few of those isolated showers or thunderstorms popping up, especially western portions of Sussex County through the eastern shore. We're dry, we're mild and muggy through the overnight, and then tomorrow, here's the clouds from Erin. Most of the area is going to be dry. Can't rule out an isolated storm, but there's that strong northeast onshore wind kicking up the surf, and the winds along the coast could see gusts as high as 50 miles an hour. Bethany Beach, Rehoboth, and then it's going to be pretty breezy along the coast into Friday, but turning much sunnier. Again, the primary impacts along the coast with those tropical storm force winds, waves as high as 8 to 14 feet with that coastal flooding. Inland areas mostly dry but overcast with breezy conditions. Eastern shore, we're dealing with some coastal flooding in the back bays, as well as a cloudy isolated shower threat tomorrow. There's those seas really beginning to peak as we go into the day tomorrow, peaking as high as 8 to 14 feet, and then we're still going to see some swells as high as 5 to 8 feet through the day on Friday. But we're clear, we're dry Friday. Erin pulls off to the northeast, high pressure builds in, and we're looking very nice to end the week. 82 this afternoon, a mostly cloudy day with that isolated storm chance. 70 overnight, mostly cloudy, and then there's the clouds from Erin, windy at the coast. Again, an isolated shower is possible. We're at 78 into Friday as those dangerous rip currents continue, and we're looking at temperatures in the low 80s through the weekend with an isolated storm chance late Sunday.
All right, thank you, Chris. A roadway redesign is underway in Salisbury. Crews are expected to work this week along Carroll Street between the intersections of Route 13 and Circle Avenue. And once milling is complete, city officials say they'll have 2 lanes in each direction, better directional and pedestrian markings, along with designated bike lanes. Now, we spoke with some drivers who say the upgrades are needed, but they're worried about delays that will come with it.
This will be a hassle. You know, it's going to be very hectic, especially in the morning time. You have people going for work.
I think it's going to cause a lot of delays, but if they redesign it and they make it a little better, a little wider, maybe a little designated shoulder, even if it's not too big, would be very helpful for people who regularly go on it.
And Salisbury officials say drivers should expect delays this week. Flaggers are expected daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It is 5:53, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And this hour, our coastal pet of the day, a very smart dog. On your screen is Teddy. You can see Teddy is a master at these puzzle treat toys. And Teddy was submitted to us by Trisha and Harbison.
So cute. We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan that QR code at the top of your screen. That way you can get your friends to Coast TV News. And then you can watch weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:56, so we are going to take another look at our forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, you see our friend Chris there in that box?
I see him.
He's been tracking a
He's been
lot
busy.
the last couple of days.
Yeah, and it's primarily for the coast. We have a tremendous amount of advisories up for the coast. We have coastal flood advisories, we have wind advisories, we have that newly issued tropical storm warning for the coastal waters. Today, though, pretty uneventful day, at least through the morning. Mostly cloudy skies giving way to a mix of sun and clouds. I think we'll see some breaks in those clouds through the afternoon. But then as we go into the latter part of the afternoon, watching for a threat of a few isolated showers and storms. The seas continue to get rough over the next 2 days. We see the effects of Erin tomorrow with those winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour at the coast. We stay pretty dry but cloudy. Friday looking very nice, and so is the weekend with temperatures in the lower 80s.
All right, thanks, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, emerging erosion emergency, the trouble spots that has DENREC's attention and what they're expecting for the remainder of the week. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.